You know the exact moment. You're sitting across from each other. The room feels heavy. You ask a simple question. Their eyes drop slowly. That familiar quiet settles in. And suddenly your mind races. Did I push too hard? Why does this keep happening? Am I the problem? You are not failing at love. The relationship didn't get harder because your love faded. It got harder because your safety did. Every couple has stood exactly here. By the end of this video, you will understand the precise shifts that disarm their defenses and make them want to return. Let's get into it. Most couples believe that reaching an avoidant requires more effort. You think chasing them proves your commitment. But the real truth is much deeper. Your partner's nervous system reads you instantly. Safety leaves before logic can catch up. What looks like coldness is actually overwhelm. Distance becomes their only protection now. When you pursue, their brain flags danger. They withdraw to survive the pressure. Honestly, this isn't about compatibility at all. It's just how attachment systems naturally interact. But here's what nobody explains. Pursuit always triggers retreat. Space quietly breeds curiosity. You stop fighting the current. You start creating emotional gravity. That is the foundation. It changes everything. 1. The pressure paradox. Most couples fall into the trap of pushing harder. You believe persistence will eventually crack their walls. But beneath the surface, pressure never creates openness. It only triggers a defensive nervous system response to your longing. You've felt this exact cycle play out. When you chase, they naturally drift away. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Instead of asking, "Where is this going? Why won't you open up?" you simply say, "I'm right here. Take your time." That lands as sanctuary instead of an audit. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. 2. The silence trap. Most couples treat emotional distance like a crisis. You rush to fill every quiet space with anxious reassurance. But silence isn't always abandonment at all. Sometimes it is just a nervous system recalibrating under stress. You accidentally teach them that stillness feels dangerous. They brace for impact instead of leaning in. Not more words, not more explanations, not scheduling weekly emotional check-ins, but two people who finally feel safe enough to just breathe in the same room. You resist the urge to overfunction. You leave space for their natural curiosity to return. That's when your partner stops feeling like a project to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. 3. The space misunderstanding. Most couples interpret a need for solitude as rejection. You react with subtle guilt or increased clinginess to pull them back. But the real dynamic beneath the surface is much simpler. Space isn't a retreat from love for them. It is the exact environment where their attachment safely recharges. You frame distance as personal abandonment. They internalize closeness as a loss of autonomy. This is where it gets really interesting. Instead of saying, "You never want to spend time together anymore," you quietly offer, "I love our connection when we sync up. I respect your recharge time. Let me know when you're ready." Something in them quietly registers, "They don't need me to perform right now." That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. 4. The vulnerability mismatch. Most couples try to build intimacy through high-stakes conversations. You believe naming every feeling will finally make them mirror it back. But emotional availability isn't sparked by interrogation. It is cultivated through consistent, low-pressure turning toward each other. You demand openness on command. Their nervous system reads it as a test they might fail. And here's what changes everything. Instead of asking, "Why are you so closed off? Don't you care?" you quietly share your own truth. "I've felt disconnected lately. I'm just naming it, not asking you to fix anything." What's moving through them is, they aren't trying to trap me. They just want me near. That's the exact moment emotional safety finally replaces emotional armor. 5. The unshakable center. Most couples try to change the dynamic with clever tactics. You hope a script will trick them back into closeness. But this isn't a behavioral communication hack at all. This is just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they stop outsourcing their peace. You react to withdrawal with panic. You confirm their deepest fear, that love is exhausting. When you respond with grounded presence, you quietly rewrite the entire attachment script. You stop leaning in when they step back. You hold your own center and focus on your rhythm. Their brain finally whispers, "They don't need me to validate them to feel whole." Without your anxiety weighing down their shoulders, they finally have room to miss you. And that's the exact feeling that turns passive resistance into active longing. This isn't a checklist for fixing someone else. It's an invitation to show up differently yourself. You stop reacting and start responding with quiet confidence. Your partner will feel that shift immediately. You become the anchor instead of the storm. That is who you are becoming right now. Love isn't what you fall into blindly. It's what you build deliberately every single day. The relationship you want starts the moment you stop waiting for them to change and decide to become what makes it safe. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one.